My TaylorMade RSI2 versus P790 irons. We've got an older, health-focused model going straight into a head-to-head battle against a modern, premium giant. Today we're going to find out if chasing that expensive, shiny new tech is actually just a massive waste of your hard-earned cash. Welcome to Golf Gear Showdown, where we put golf gear head-to-head to help you pick the exact right winner for your swing and your scorecard. We absolutely hate watching guys waste money on pure marketing hype, so let's get right into this explainer.
So picture this scenario. You're standing right there in the pro shop, staring down the used rack. In one hand, you've got the sleek, absolutely beautiful P790. In the other hand is the slightly bulkier, older RSI2. You're probably asking yourself if the newer one is truly worth that huge premium price tag, especially when you know exactly how fast $1,000 vanishes from the bank account.
Right, exactly. The marketing machine wants you to just buy the P790 for the yardage. I mean, look at the stark contrast in their profiles. The P790 is undeniably sleeker. But look, this battle is about way more than just raw distance on a launch monitor. We have to look at consistency, value, and actual on-course performance to find the truth before you max out that credit card.
Here is exactly how we're scoring this matchup today. We've got 6 specific rounds on the agenda. We're covering distance, forgiveness, accuracy, feel, price, and finally, golfer fit. Definitely pay close attention to round 5 when we talk about price and value. The result in that round might completely change your mind on which set you actually put in the bag.
All right, round 1, distance and performance. Which iron hits harder? Based on design intent, the P790 is a true player's distance iron. It's built from the ground up to deliver incredibly strong ball speed and a powerful flight, all packed into a compact profile. If you make solid contact, it simply hits harder.
Okay, hold on a second, Mike. That extra ball speed sounds great on paper, but it's totally useless if the launch creates massive, awkward yardage gaps on the course. Hitting an 8-iron 170 yards doesn't help your score at all if you suddenly have a 25-yard gap down to your 9-iron just because of the way the faces are designed. You end up hitting these weird half swings that inevitably find the front bunker.
That's a totally fair point about gapping, and it's a real issue for a lot of guys. But for pure distance potential, we have a clear victor. The P790 takes round 1. It wins this category specifically for golfers who make decent contact and just want that stronger yardage ceiling out of their irons.
Moving right along to round 2, forgiveness and surviving the mishits. This is where guys like me, hovering right around a 15 handicap, actually live. My typical miss is a little thin or maybe straight off the toe. The P790 does give you some help for a sleeker club, but let's be realistic here. The RSI2 was physically built around average golfers. It features a health-focused design meant to protect your ball speed when your contact is downright terrible.
The P790 is certainly not a traditional blade, but you make a good point there, Jake. If your strike location is all over the map during a round, the RSI2 is going to do a lot more heavy lifting. It's specifically designed to keep the ball in the air, even when you miss the center of the face entirely. Because of that built-in safety net, the RSI2 is the undisputed winner of round 2. Common feedback suggests it's a much friendlier option for the inconsistent weekend ball striker who just wants to find the green on a bad swing, rather than watching a perfectly struck thin shot drop into a water hazard.
So we're tied up 1-1, but before you decide to just run out and chase that P790 distance, you need to hear what we found in round 3. There is a crucial element about accuracy that completely changes how these two irons actually perform when you have a scorecard in your pocket. It's the silent killer of a good round.
Round 3 brings us to accuracy and control, keeping it in play. When you're swinging well, the P790 offers a strong, penetrating flight with enough workability for better players to feel total control over the golf ball. It does exactly what a good striker tells it to do, letting you flight it down out of the wind or turn it around a dogleg.
Yeah, but what a good striker tells it to do is exactly the problem for most of us. If my swing tells it to slice, it slices hard. The older RSI2 might not be as exciting to shape shots with, but it is incredibly predictable. Average players don't need workability. We need steady results and playable misses. The RSI2 keeps the ball in play when the swing gets sloppy.
I really can't argue with that logic. We're calling a rare tie for round 3. We have to give the edge to the P790 for better ball strikers who want precise control, and we have to award the RSI2 to average golfers who are just chasing everyday consistency. You really have to be honest with yourself about your own swing path here.
Let's transition into round 4, feel and confidence, the psychological game. This plays a massive role for weekend players. When I look down at the RSI2 at address, that slightly bulkier, forgiving shape actually gives me confidence. I feel like there's plenty of club behind the ball waiting to bail me out. That mental comfort genuinely frees up my swing.
Sure, but feel is also heavily tied to sound and feedback.
A thinner-looking iron that still packs performance just instills a different kind of premium confidence. The undeniable modern, clean appeal of the P790 at address is universally loved by better players. When you flush a P790, it feels significantly better than older tech. Because of that refined feedback, the P790 decisively takes round 4. It offers a clearly superior premium feel, a much better sound off the face, and that incredibly sleek player's distance look that most golfers truly want in their bag.
Now we arrive at round 5, price and value. Let's talk nutting and the smart shopper move. The P790 is always going to cost you more upfront, though it does hold its resale value incredibly well. However, the RSI2 is the absolute pound-for-pound champion of the used market. You can often find a full set of these for a fraction of what brand new clubs run.
Which leads right into our smart shopper move. Most golfers blow their entire budget on the iron heads alone. Saving hundreds of dollars by choosing the older RSI2 leaves you with enough cash to actually get fitted for proper shafts and fix those terrible wedge gaps at the bottom of your bag. That makes this an easy call. The RSI2 wins round 5. It is hands down the most practical choice for golfers who want reliable TaylorMade technology without paying modern premium pricing. All right, we've broken down the categories, but which iron actually fits your specific swing? Coming up next is our rapid-fire golfer fit breakdown, so you know exactly which set you should be buying today without throwing your cash down the drain.
Let's jump straight into round 6, golfer fit. Who should play what? We're assigning these winning clubs to specific, real-world golfer profiles. We want to remove any remaining confusion right now so you can make a smart decision.
Let's break this down. For mid-handicappers, players with fast swings, and pure distance seekers, the P790 is your clear winner. It rewards speed and solid contact. On the flip side, if you're a beginner, a high handicapper, someone who constantly fights a slice, or you're simply a budget buyer looking to save money, the RSI2 is the club you should be hunting for.
Before we give the final verdict, you really need to hear this insider advice. The single biggest buying mistake golfers make in this matchup is choosing based purely on the club's age or the shiny logo on the back. Newer doesn't always mean better for your swing. Cheaper doesn't always mean smarter if the shaft is entirely wrong for your speed. If you do not test your absolute worst misses and check your distance gaps, you are just throwing money away. That tells you the truth about what deserves a spot in your bag.
Let's hit the pros and cons fast with zero brand protection. RSI2 Pros. It's very affordable and incredibly forgiving for average weekenders. Cons? It's older tech, finding a good used set takes some work, and the feel just isn't as refined. P790 Pros. Premium feel, gorgeous modern look, and very strong distance potential. Cons? It's expensive, and it absolutely requires careful fitting to make sure the gapping actually works for your swing speed.
It's time for the final verdict across all categories. For best overall, best for mid-handicaps, distance, and if you have absolutely no budget limit, the TaylorMade P790 takes the crown.
But for the best value on the used market, best for beginners, high handicappers, and pure forgiveness, the RSI2 is your champion.
The P790 wins the overall head-to-head battle, but the RSI2 is unquestionably the smarter, practical buy for the everyday average golfer. So, which iron are you actually putting in the bag after seeing this explainer? Drop your handicap, your current irons, and your final pick in the comments below.
And if you want to see how the P790 stacks up against the Ping G425, hit that subscribe button right now. We'll see you in the next Golf Gear Showdown.